Alright, so now my mic is on. Too many buttons. I always say that. Too many buttons. I don't scroll down far enough. There's too many buttons. I'm too confused. Too many lines. Too many X's. Too many O's. Too many dots. So now, welcome to the MwM Show. It's Thursday. I said before it was a long time getting here, but it wasn't, because it was only 4 days, and I counted them on my fingers, and I was right. 4 days. So, if you're new to the show, don't turn back yet. Hang in there. It gets better. All right. If you're listening to this after it's live, thank you very much. If you're watching it on YouTube or as a podcast or something, wherever you're at, like it, subscribe to the channel, to the social media, wherever you find it. Leave me comments. Tell me what's going on. The phone number that you can call in on, only when I'm live. You call it any other time, and guess what? You're not going to get me. 423-482-1413. So, only when I'm live. Most of the time, reach me on social media at whatever sign, math, cubicle, square, at symbol, whatever, Minutes with Milo. So, tonight, talk about social media. I don't have this TikTok. Didn't want TikTok. I do have Snapchat, which I don't even bother with it anymore. Don't even bother. Just a bunch of sex workers out there trying to get you to follow their link and do whatever stuff they do, or infect you with viruses or whatever. So, Snapchat, it's dumb. Dumb. So, Facebook, probably dumb. Instagram, maybe not so dumber. X, I've had Twitter accounts before and stuff like that. Reddit is interesting. Reddit is kind of interesting. Finds all kinds of stuff, or start your own stuff. Talk about whatever you like. So tonight, I was going to talk about TikTok. So TikTok is just a social media platform, about like any other, really. You could do what you do on TikTok on Instagram, or you could do what you do on TikTok on X, or Facebook, Reels, YouTube, you name it. All these social media platforms have the way to do a small, short video and get people to like it, follow it, duplicate it, use it, all that other kind of stuff. So, I don't have TikTok. I don't know why. It seems to be the way, or the medium where young teenagers, or even younger than teenagers, get on and do these videos. And mostly they are called challenges. TikTok challenge. Well, why would you think they would call it a TikTok challenge? Why not call it a TikTok join? Because you're wanting people to join in your movement, in your idea that you put out there on TikTok. Well, I think the reason they call it a challenge is because it's a way to get people more engaged, interested in it, because it's like a dare. They should call it a TikTok dare, or a double dog dare, or a triple dog dare you TikTok dare. Because that's what they're trying to get you to do. They're trying to get you to duplicate what they did, and therefore make what you did go viral. So that's the reason I think they call it a challenge. So it gets people fired up about doing it. They're challenging me to do something they think I can't do or won't do or whatever. Hey, Cleo, what's up? Were you just on TikTok checking your stuff out, getting ready to do the next triple dog dare you challenge on TikTok? Probably not. There's Roberto. What's up, guys? So TikTok, I'm sure has a lot. You see your TikTok, even though you may not have the app and use TikTok, it bleeds over into uh, Facebook, or it bleeds over into uh, Instagram, X, whatever. And it's because people share them on different platforms. And so I get caught up in reels, just like everything else. You like to watch puppies doing things, and puppies playing with other puppies. And the next thing you know, you get all these kind of puppy videos, and then, the algorithm gives you a cat video, a kitten video, and the next thing you're watching little baby goats jump across on a seesaw and hop around and do funny things, and an hour's gone by. And that's the that's the demon of social media on these little short videos. So, but with teens and preteens and TikTok, these challenges can be simple, like dance steps, or, how juggling, balls, or any kind of thing, jumping rope, skipping stones across a lake. The challenge can be almost anything that they can think of. But they're looking for that thing that goes with a million hits. Those things that just go viral, as they call it, just explode in popularity. And a lot of times those are dumb, stupid, idiotic things, because if you know anything about human nature, everybody loves a train wreck. They don't want to be in one. They don't want really people to get hurt. They just have to watch the train wreck, and not necessarily a legit, actual crash of train. Train wreck is just a metaphor for things going wrong. All the fail videos. Try to roller skate for the first time. I fall down. I hit another person. They fall down. The next thing you know, it's like a domino effect, and 15 people have, fallen down on the roller rink. It's a train wreck, and people love to see it. A lot of people go to NASCAR. Why is Bristol such a popular track? Train wrecks, the crashes, the spin outs. It's wiping out cars. Anything can happen. It's that adrenaline that anything can happen. I'm going to watch it, and the guy that's in the lead can now be taken out of the race because of some lap traffic does something stupid and crashes his car. And that's Rubbin's racing, right? That's the way it works. But everybody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see the smashing, the smoking, the bent metal and everything. It's the same thing on these TikTok. So we're going to look at some of the dumbest things, and they're going to be dangerous things. And the reason I call it dumb is because why oh why do people, and I'm going to call them people, but mostly young adults or old kids, I call old kids preteens, and it could be younger than that. And don't listen to me. I'm not an expert on any of this junk. I have my own opinions. I like to express some of my own opinions, but everybody does their own thing. But if you're a parent and you give your 5-year-old a phone, then you're just asking for trouble. Why? Why does a 5-year-old need a phone? Why does a 10-year-old need a phone? They don't. They don't. You just give them a deck of playing cards and say, learn to play poker. Why not? Just they learn to count that way. They don't learn to count on a phone. They learn to do stupid stuff that kills them or other people on a phone, right? TikTok, Facebook, all those things, all those social media apps should not be for kids, but that's what they're geared towards because, you know, they're gullible, you know. So TikTok challenges can be as simple and fun as, you know, how many times can you know, bounce a basketball with your left hand while you're hopping down on your right foot singing a song. It could be just that simple. Or it can be as dangerous as eating Tide Pod laundry detergent packets. Dumb, stupid. Who would do that? Right? Who would do that? Kids looking for attention, kids that don't know any better, kids that lack supervision, kids that have access to TikTok and the stupid things and are left alone to experiment with them with no supervision. That's what happens. And it kills kids. So, some of the dumb things that are on TikTok, and like I said, it could be anything, but TikTok seems to be the place to go and get challenges, dares, if you will, to do the stupidest things. To do the stupidest things. So, we're going to talk about some of these. We're going to share some of these. And you're going to be surprised. Of course, you probably won't be surprised. I'm surprised. But anybody, let's see, got to get rid of the telephone number. Turn my face back on. Shrink me up. Why am I wearing my hoodie? Well, it's cold outside. I had to take the dogs outside. I didn't have a hat on. And it just messed my hair up. So I put my hoodie on. And throw that in there. And then bring that to the front. And there we go. All right. So first off, what is a TikToker challenge? All right. Right there at front. TikTok's platform is mostly fueled by viral videos of users doing outlandish, scary, or funny things. Okay? Then they put a hashtag, they put a label on it, like, you know, flaming hair hashtag. Okay? And you think, oh, that's really dumb. Trust me, it's not outside the scope of what they're doing. Give them some Lincoln Logs. Yeah, dumb things on TikTok. I know it's hard to believe, Robert. Yep, the Tide Pod Challenge. I just don't understand why anybody with any kind of education would think that that's even, but they see it, you know, and they don't see the kid die, you know. They see him do it on the video, and I don't know how long the videos are, but you know what I'm saying. They see it, and they don't think that it's going to hurt them. All right. There are hundreds of TikTok challenges to indulge in, such as dance challenges, reaction challenges, song challenges, and more. Some of the recent viral favorites include Haribo Challenge. All right. So they're a manufacturer. They produce like gummy bears. TikTok users film videos of crowds of gummy bears while Adelaide's Someone Likes You plays. Simple, cool, easy, not dangerous. You take little squishy multicolored gummy bears and you line them up the way you want. You play this song in the background. You move your camera around and you make a creative video. Yeah, okay. It shows some examples later. Okay, the egg challenge. TikTok users film videos of giving their dogs eggs to see what they do with them. So, I'm guessing from this, they give them maybe an egg in the shell. because, you know, it wobbles and it rolls and it does all that stuff. I would hope it would be hard boiled because if the dog breaks it, at least, you know, it's not going to make a huge mess on the floor. But maybe they're scrambling them and giving them to the dogs to eat, see if they'll eat them. It doesn't really say. The Crush Challenge. TikTok users film a video of them and two other friends with a song playing in the background, pointing at each other in a circle. Whomever the first beat of the song lands on, that person must call their crush. So, I'm going to assume a crush is somebody they may have romantic ideas towards. You know, like your first crush. And it's just one of those ways to create social tension, embarrass somebody, that kind of stuff. And that's the challenge. That's the gamble. That's the dare. Used to be a game when I was a kid called Truth or Dare. And it always, not always, but usually it's boys and girls interacting with each other without parental supervision. And the game of Truth or Dare was done in person because there wasn't phones. You know, and if it was done over the telephone, it could only be done between two people because unless it was back in the 50s when you had party lines, then any number of people could be listening in on it and take part of it. But Truth or Dare usually consisted of a mixture of boys and girls, and you played the game, and it was, you took turns, and somebody would say Truth or Dare, and then other people would say truth or other people would say dare. So Robert says he played it one-on-one at parties. You know, it's not usually like a group of 100 people. You know, when I say a group, maybe 4 or less, you know, kind of an intimate type of situation. And a lot of times it was one-on-one because, you know, you want to get to the dare part, not the truth part. So it was truth or dare. And if somebody said truth, then you would say, you know, do you fart in the bathtub when you're taking a bath? And they had to tell you the truth. There was always some kind of consequence. If it was a dare, then you had a challenge. You had a dare. When they said dare, then you had to say, well, I dare you to, you know, lick your big toe or something, whatever it might be. There was a dare. And it was, you know, unsupervised kids, depending on their age, sometimes the dares were pretty risky. Not necessarily death risky, I would hope not, but you get the idea. So, but like I said, it wasn't done in mass. It wasn't done for millions of people. It was done, like I said, in a kind of in a more intimate setting, one-on-one, or, you know, 4 or 5 people. And it was to create that social tension, you know, that anticipation kind of deal. And, you know, to get girls to do dares that they would not normally do. So, the stop challenge. Although this one has many variations, one of the most popular involves filming a friend in a clothing store with their eyes shut, running their hands through the racks. They listen for you to say stop. When you do, they have to wear whatever they're touching. Okay. Then I guess they go try it on, and when they come out, you film them. And there it is. It's just the, you know, the social interaction, and there's not really, you know, on its face, not really any kind of danger with that. And these things are the ones that, you know, are mundane. This is what, you know, I would assume, I would hope TikTok was designed to do. Just little snippets of challenges, funny little things, you know, like I said, get you to do things, put them out there and see who else would do them. And hopefully, you know, millions of people would be trying it. Me versus challenge. In this challenge, TikTok users create videos showcasing those daily annoyances they come across in life. For example, some users make videos regarding fast food, while others remind us what it's like to find a spider in your bedroom. All right. So this is only scratching the surface of the TikTok challenge world, and it seems there's always a new challenge born every day. So here are the pictures of the gummy bears, you know, being lined up or being grouped and being filmed in that one challenge. And I don't know if there's anybody that ever wins it. It's like truth or dare. There was, I guess, depending on your point of view, there could be winners or losers. But in, something like this, it's just, a fun thing to do. And, I guess the winner would be the person that had the most likes or views or follows or comments or whatever the threshold might be, whatever the bar is set to. And it talks about how to find a TikTok challenge. Well, I don't think you have a problem at all. If you have TikTok and you turn it on, that's all it is. I don't see any other use for it. Like I said, I don't have it. So that's what a TikTok challenge is. It's kind of like a group dare, and it's supposed to be intentionally first put out there is just to kind of get you thinking, interacting, and doing, like I said, kind of off the wall thing. But of course, like anything else, you start with just little simple off the wall things, and it soon turns to chaos. So this is one of the things about dumb TikTok challenges. 5 of the dumbest TikTok challenges. Not the dumbest, but not necessarily deadly, but questionable. Okay, so the milk crate challenge. Have you ever stood on one milk crate to do something? They're prone for failure. Just sitting on one working on a car, after a while, you flip it upside down, of course, so you're sitting on the bottom of it. The bottom starts to cave in because, it's not designed to hold, body weight. And then eventually the bottom will crack and then it'll start to break. But the TikTok challenge for the milk crate is to stack them. Barefoot. It's always a pleasant surprise. And stack them and then try to walk across them. Stack them up into a pyramid. And if you see the picture of this dude here, that's what happens. They're very unstable and it's dumb. You're going to get hurt and potentially, hurt real bad. So the other one was the devious lick challenge. Now, this is something I don't know. Why they call it that? Because it's a thing about students stealing school supplies or equipment and then videotaping, putting it out there on social media. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And so they say it got out of hand. Kids stealing sinks. Now, they're probably not stealing sinks during school day, during the regular day. So, now they're breaking and entering, vandalizing, and stealing, school property, which, takes it right through the roof of, I just took a pencil eraser from my teacher's desk, or I took the pencil sharpener. There's not a pencil sharpener probably anymore. You get the idea. Something like that. So spin the bottle and run challenge is, this is the same kind of version we used to play it. And this wasn't, Robert, did you play spin the bottle with one-on-one? I mean, why bother? So spin the bottle used to be, you pretty much had the same number of boys and girls. It just depended on where you were and what the party was. But you took a bottle and everybody sat around in a circle and they spun the bottle, and then I think whoever spun it and it pointed to a person, you had to kiss that person. So, nope, in a circle, right, with multiple people, and usually a mixture of boys and girls. Now, there wasn't a lot of rules. You didn't end up kissing, in my group, you didn't end up kissing other boys. So it was just one of those situations where they used an excuse, the boys used the excuse to get to kiss girls. And this may be the product of a truth or dare, you know. So this one doesn't make any sense. As it sounds in the name, what people would do was stand in a circle and spin a bottle. Whoever the bottle landed on was it, and everyone else had to run. When the challenge started, it wasn't that dangerous. All it was whoever the bottle landed on, that person had to try and hit a runner with a water balloon. So they changed the game rules. So I guess you're in a park or you're in a place where people jog, and your challenge was to hit a jogger or a runner with a water balloon, or at least try to. Then it escalated, and it was starting to use other things to hit people besides water balloons. And then it went from water balloons to chasing people with cars and using paintball guns and even letting dogs loose on runners. So, like everything else, you got to have, people escalate it. Dumb people escalate it and take it over the top. But that's how they want to get views. That's how they wanted to get, more likes, more subscribers, more followers, whatever it might be. Throw it in the air challenge was a challenge where people would stand in a circle and had many random items and they would throw in the air. And what made this challenge dangerous and dumb was when it escalated and got more and more dangerous as people started throwing bigger things into the air, which caused injuries. Hello, baseball bats, yard darts, hatchets, axes, pianos, all kinds of crazy stuff. Why not just do, they talked about it was all right when you did soccer balls. Why not do water balloons? So then it gets into the real dumb things, blackout challenge, which is one that comes up all the time. And it's basically asphyxiation until you pass out. And then, a lot of kids have died doing it because it goes too far and you don't wake up. So those are some of the mundane things that were dumb challenges. Some of the dangerous challenge we'll talk about. And this was out of Fox 10 Phoenix. They did an article. I'm not going to play the video, but we'll read the examples. So the so-called Borg challenge typically consists of mixture of alcohol, electrolytes, caffeinated flavoring, and water in a 1-gallon jug. Sounds like a party. But with anything else, you start mixing alcohol into something that you drink, and then there's a challenge, people get sick and or die or both. All right. So the purpose of the drink, apparently, with the electrolyte and the caffeinated, I can go through these things in a minute, to stay hydrated while drinking copious amounts, slow the intoxication process, and keep the dreaded hangover at bay. The danger trend, however, seems to have been the opposite effect, as it's led to hospitalizations of nearly 30 University of Massachusetts Amherst students due to binge drinking. So let's look at the ingredients. Of course, it's alcohol. And it's not going to be beer. It's not going to be typically wine. It's not going to be typically whiskey. It's going to be like vodka, 100 proof, Everclear, something that mixes well with almost anything you put in it or put it in. Okay, so what were the other ingredients? Electrolytes, Gatorade, pineapple juice, grape juice. Electrolytes are supposed to be healthy for you. Okay, but the majority of their content is water. Caffeinated flavoring keeps you from getting sleepy after you've had a few drinks, lots. You know, the caffeine's kind of bouncing off the alcohol, keeping you a little bit awake. And then, like I said, water, more water. I think the perfect mixture when you're mixing drinks, too much alcohol, the body doesn't absorb it as quick because it sends the stomach into this little thing. It doesn't absorb it. It doesn't pass out of the stomach into the small intestine, where actually almost 100%, like 90% of the absorption of alcohol is in the small intestine. So, but when you drink pure alcohol, I'm sorry, not pure alcohol, but if you drink shots of alcohol, the stomach doesn't pass it into the small intestine as quickly. You mix it in with water. The body loves water. Alcohol and water bond together. So the stomach empties quickly when there's a lot of water. And I think it's like 80-20, 20% alcohol, 80% water. It moves into the lower or the small intestine really quick. So the more water you have, the more alcohol you have, the harder it's going to hit you. So that mixture is just, you know, a recipe for disaster. And then it's in a gallon jug. So gallon jug can be passed around. Gallon jug can be, you know, chugged out of, chug the gallon jug, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's not helping you. Not helping you avoid the hangover. It's helping you get really drunk, really quick, really fast, and not realize it. And stay awake, which can lead you to drink more. And that leads to alcohol poisoning, blacking out, vomiting, ingestion or aspirating your own vomit. Not good. Blackout challenge, we talked about that before. It's about choking in different manners. Asphyxiation of any kind is dangerous. Here's another stupid thing. Benadryl, allergy medicine. So what they should be able to do is trace back who starts this very first challenge and just throw them to the wolves. I mean, throw them, you know, let it be known. This is the person, the couple, the individuals, whoever it might be, that started this challenge that's killing kids, people, adults. So they're challenging you to take large amounts of Benadryl or diphenhydramine, HLC 25 milligrams antihistamine, so you can get high. Here's one that I'd never heard of. Clell's never heard of any of these? Well, the radio station I listen to, Free Beer and Hot Wings, they brought up some of these things that they're a talk show in the morning, and they do interesting things. I think do interesting things. And one of the things they're talking about is TikTok, the stupid things that are going on TikTok. And like anything else, that just gave me an idea to look into these. And I'd heard the Tide Pod Challenge sometime back, because if you've looked at the Tide Pods, they're very colorful. They're swirled. Why do they? I mean, I don't understand why they would even do that. Do they think that appeals to the adult buyer that's going to purchase them to wash their clothes with? But they are in water-soluble plastic. You can see through the plastic. You see the swirls. Sometimes they have like a cleaning ball in the middle of them of hard detergent. They use them in dishwashers. They're making them. They use them in clothes washers. But you just throw one in the water. You don't measure it. You don't have to put it in the little cups on the side. You just take this pod. You throw it in there with your clothes, and then the water comes up. It breaks the pod. It agitates it, and the detergent's mixed in with that. They're getting it, and they were challenging kids, anybody that would listen, to eat those things, to eat them. And they were doing it, and it was killing them. So I knew about the pod challenge, the choking. I knew about those. I'd heard about those. Some of the other things, I hadn't heard of the milk crate challenge or some of those others, but those were just a couple of ones that I heard on the news. Dragon's Breath challenge. The challenge encouraged eating candy coated in liquid nitrogen. Where do you get candy coated in liquid nitrogen? They've got to be selling this stuff online. Am I correct? They've got to be getting it from somewhere, because I can't go out. I don't know. I mean, I could probably think of a place, but where do you go buy liquid nitrogen? And you're just not going to get a 10-year-old to go out and buy a bottle of liquid nitrogen and put it on candy. So they have to be making this stuff. Anyway, apparently, it's, you bite into this candy, and if you breathe out, it's like dry ice kind of deal. It creates this vapor that comes out, dragon's breath. A snack that became popular on TikTok due to the vapor fumes it emits when eaten. Though liquid nitrogen is not innately dangerous, when used in food, it can be hazardous if improperly ingested. In January, Indonesia issued a warning against the trend after more than 20 children were hospitalized due to skin burns, stomach aches, and food poisoning. All right, Orbeez shooting challenge. Now, I'm not sure what an Orbeez is, but they're colorful. They're gel kind of deal, and they're probably about the size of BBs. So what they were doing, it started out as shooting using these little pellets and toy guns and shooting the gel pellets out. Then, of course, like everything else, they froze them. And so it was causing injuries of all kinds when they were doing this. The Beeson challenge. To me, this seems silly, but if you've ever seen, I think this is Burt's Bees lip balm, and they come in different, not flavors, scents, and colors. And so what they were doing, instead of putting them on their lips, they were putting it on their eyelids. The Beeson is an act of rubbing Burt's Bees lip balm onto the eyelids before going out for the night. Well, it's supposed to be put on the lips, and a lot of times, it's paraffin, of course. It's got other things, scents and oils and things like that mixed into it. And what happens with beeswax, any kind of wax, put it against the body after a while, it gets warm, it melts, and it, kind of liquefies. It's going to get into your eyes, people. It's going to get into your eyes. TikTok users believe the menthol or peppermint balm enhances alertness or heightens one's buzz. What happened? But blindly following the challenge could have dangerous side effects such as eye inflammation, irritation, vision loss, malaria, whatever that might be. Burt's Bees released a statement. There are lots of natural things that probably shouldn't go in the eyes. Dirt, twigs, leaves, food, and our lip balm. Amen, brother. That's right. So, what draws the 50 million daily TikTok users in the U.S. to such challenges? The social media space is very crowded, so in order to get noticed or attention, you have to go extreme and risky, said digital wellness expert Joanne Orlando, PhD, based in Sydney, Australia. One of the best ways for people to get noticed on TikTok is to jump on board with the trends. So, when your mom used to tell you, If little Johnny down the street jumped off the cliff, would you do it? The answer for TikTok users is yes, and I would film the whole way down. That's how dumb they've become. And I say they become either the parents that raised them, the kids, or both. And a lot of times it's not the kids' fault. It's the parents' fault. I would blame a lot of it on the parents, you know. Some are not aware, you know. And I guess I skipped away from all this because I wasn't aware of this stuff was going on. But you know what? I didn't give my kids phones. My kids did not have phones until they needed phones. And when did they need phones? It's when they started going out and they didn't have, like, if they were going to go to you know, a friend's house, then most people back then, it's not too long ago, most people had a landline or their parents had cell phones. Do your research. Know the parents. Know the kids. You know, share numbers. And so if they needed us, they would say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. person, I'm staying at your house. Could you call my mom and see if she could bring me this? Or I'm not feeling well. Could mom come and get me? Or dad come and get me? But when they started going out like on band trips or school trips or field trips, and they were going to be out, and it wasn't going to be really, you know, you have one teacher and 50 kids, that doesn't work. So get them cell phones. And that's all they were used for. They didn't get the latest iPad, iPhones, or anything like that. They got very functional phones. And we looked and attended and watched what they were doing with their phones. So, and they grew up without phones. And so they weren't exposed to any of this craziness. And like I said, that was just lucky on my part, on our part, because we weren't aware of the things probably that were going on a lot with phones. But if they didn't have a phone, then they didn't get really exposed to that. Like I said, you give a 5, 7, 10-year-old a phone that has cell service and you just let them go, or you give your 12 or 14-year-old a phone and they have a 6 or 7-year-old sibling, then I guarantee you it's all going to be on there. It's all going to be on there. So those were 7 dangerous ones. We looked at the dumb ones that are maybe not dangerous, but they're just like, hello, people. Okay. And so if you're interested in looking at those, look up some of those. Watch some of them. And like I said, a lot of times, if you've got Facebook or you've got Instagram, you've got X, you'll see those short videos and you will probably see potentially some of the TikTok challenges bleed over into other, you know, things. But, you know, to me, TikTok is just a place where they, you know, do these crazy stunts and, you know, take it to extremes. I mean, you know, they're going to have to one up each other. Have to. Otherwise, they'll never get seen, never get heard, never get noticed, never become popular, or become an influencer. So, I'm not saying that TikTok is the only dangerous, dumb, whatever you want to call it, social media platform out there, but it seems to be the forefront runner of all of them. And I don't know, Robert, you ever messed with TikTok? Apparently Clell hasn't. I've never messed with it. I just hear about it. I'm sure there's, you know, like I put shorts up on my YouTube and I haven't put up in a while, but you either do 15 seconds or 1 minute shorts on YouTube. And it's the same, it could be the same kind of deal, but, the whole social media things. Okay, Robert says no TikTok for him. Okay, so Clell saw the cinnamon challenge once. All right, so what the deal was with that was on one of the ones I saw. You're supposed to take cinnamon, the spice, and it's a really light powder, and is it a teaspoon or a tablespoon or something? Anyway, no water. You take this cinnamon teaspoon and you try to eat it. Now, like with anything, too much of a good thing's not good for you. Cinnamon has its place, you know, but it's not to be eaten right out of the jar by the tablespoonful. One of the other things that I saw challenged, and I've got a pack or two of these. It's like a really, really big, spicy pack of ramen noodles. It's the same theory, except without the chicken flavoring or the beef noodle flavoring. They put hot peppers, hot powdery things, and when it's mixed up, just like everything else, you can get different levels of hot. And one of the TikTok challenges was to get the hottest version, dump hot sauce in it, and then just eat it as fast as you could. And that leads me to one of the other things that's been a really bad TikTok challenge is you can buy these superty duperty hot genetically altered peppers. You can buy them online. They make them into chewing gum. Some of them are into chewing gum. But anyway, kids were getting these things and either chewing the chewing gum piece after piece after piece or eating these peppers on these TikTok challenges and causing extreme damage, to the mouth, their esophagus, you know, hemorrhaging, all that other kind of stuff that comes with, abuse. You know, I like hot stuff, but you get up in some of those Scoville levels or whatever levels they are, it's just totally insane. What it will do to you, and and there's no way to stop it. Once you ingest it, it's there, and you think, well, you throw it up. Well, guess what? Then it's twice there. Once down, once up. So, yeah, not good. So yeah, uh, like I said though, I mean, you could be a gummy bear eating. Let's if anybody's ever seen, uh, Robert Redford was in it. It was a prison movie, and he ate boiled eggs. He made a challenge, a bet that he could eat more boiled eggs than anybody. Uh, and the famous line, I remember that warden, you know, saying, "What we have here is a failure to communicate." And I can't remember the other lines. It's basically is like, "That's the way he wants it. Well, that's the way he gets it." I can't remember the name of that movie. I know Robert knows. I know Clell knows. Come on, put your brains together. By the way, if I ever get to do my movie quote quiz with the boys from the band, get the boy band back together and we do a movie quote quiz, that might be one of them. It's like, you know, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Shaking it here, boss. That's the same one. Shaking it here, boss. Cool hand, Luke. There it is. Clell wins the dingy dingy prize. Yep, cool hand, Luke. So, yep. What did I say? Robert Redford. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. That was Paul Newman. But Clell's smart. He got it anyway because I'm the dumb one here. He got it anyway. But he ate that. That would be, that could be like a TikTok challenge. Of course, you have to eat like whatever it was. Was it 20 eggs or something like that in whatever time the video is? So, uh, if there's any parents that are silly enough to listen to it, watch it, and if you've got young kids, don't give them phones. Give them the farmer says, you know, give them, I don't know, anything but phones to dumb their minds down and just to, go into all the time. So anyway, all right, it's 50 minutes. I'd like to thank the two regulars for coming around and correcting me on my movie quiz. But see, if I do the movie quote quiz, I'll research it. I won't call Paul Newman Robert Redford, even though they're both hunky dudes, man. Ooh, yeah. But anyway, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on the comments, thumbs down on the comments. Just comment. I don't care. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what I'm doing wrong or right. Send me anything on the social media about challenges that you know about, heard about. Ow, that hurt. I wasn't supposed to do that. But anyway, I appreciate everybody coming, everybody listening. I've got 102 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Maybe we get some more. That's probably my fault. I hadn't been beating the bushes. I've been kicking, cans down the road or anything to get people to come. So tell your friends and neighbors. But I appreciate it. And we'll see you again probably Monday night. And who knows what it'll be. Send me a message. Tell me what you want to hear the show about. Get somebody that you know to come on and talk about something they want to talk about. But anyway, I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.